Going back to the PBD podcast interview, the complete opposite. You want to have a contrast of polar opposites. So right when we're finished, right, Humberto, Tom is like, oh my God, look at this. And because mind you, when they told me, in my mind, I'm like, oh, Bret Baier, he goes after, Obama. He went after freaking Trump. He said he was vicious towards him. I was very curious. Tom was like, oh my God, Bret Baier's kicking her butt. And we actually have Connor, if we could pull up one of these freaking videos, I think the first one is
so many.
Dude,
So many.
The entire interview was just a fight for her to BS the entire time. Which one's this one, Connor? Is this her saying, she's like, you know what I'm talking about, and then that's her. She says, he goes, no, you don't know what I'm talking about. I think this is her new way forward. Please play this time. I want to get your guys' reaction.
She got testy.
Frankly, exhausted of Bret.
More than 70% of people tell the country is on the wrong track. They say the country is on the wrong track. If it's on the wrong track, that track follows 3.5 years of you being vice president and President Biden being president. That is what they're saying, 79% of them. Why are they saying that? If you're turning the page, you've been in office for 3.5 years.
And Donald Trump has been running for office.
Oh, God.
But you've been the person holding the office.
Come on.
Look,
Madam
you
Vice
and I
President.
both know what I'm talking about.
Brought to you by
I both know what I'm talking
I actually
about.
don't. What are you talking about?
What I'm talking about is that over the last decade,
But
people
you're the
have
lever of
become.
power.
But listen, over the last decade, it is clear to me, and certainly the Republicans who are on stage with me, frankly, exhausted.
Oh, I love that. Makes me. You see, like, the anger, the attitude, the like. She doesn't want to hear it. You're talking about turning the page. You've been in. And guys, this is what she's running on. Donald Trump has been, and I'm going to play a video towards the end about that Donald, how many times she said Donald Trump in the video. It's actually pretty funny. And then the next video, I think she's talking about the border. Go ahead, Rob, you want to say something?
To the point that some people look at that and be like, well, Donald Trump always bitches about Kamala Harris. There's a reason why he has a reason to bitch.
Yeah.
She has been in office for 4 years, has done nothing to make the average American life better for any citizen in the country. So when Donald Trump gets up there and complains about the current administration, that makes sense. It doesn't make sense for somebody who is in the current administration to get up on stage and then bitch about somebody who was in office 4 years ago and is not in office now.
Almost 8 years ago.
Well, yeah, took office 8 years ago, left office 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Now I'm kind of confused. I want to get Adam's take. What do you think she's trying to do? Is she trying to cop out or put him in line? He's like, you're mainstream media. You need to do as you're told. Or is she just trying to escape the question?
I'm going to have a totally different take on this thing than probably most of you.
What?
Good.
So I actually think she did well here. And I find her to be incredibly annoying. I'm not voting for her. But if Donald Trump did this exact same thing, we would say, he's a fighter. Look at him. He's fighting for America.
Right.
So now we're basically saying, look at her. She's being testy. She's being feisty. You know who the most annoying person in this interview was? For a change, it wasn't her. It was actually Bret Baier. He actually wouldn't let her finish. He was super annoying. But it's part of it. Because how you're seeing what you're trying to do right there?
No.
See how annoying that is? No. Right? You see how annoying that is? See how that is? But when there's people trying to rap you, because you saw the last 5 minutes in this interview, he's like, oh, they're rapping me. They're rapping me. This is the beauty of what we do on PBD Podcast. This is the beauty of podcasts. When you have 90 minutes, when you have 2 hours, you're going to get to your questions. The whole issue that people have with debates is it's cans, it's 2 minutes, it's quick, it's quick. They probably said, listen, we're going to give you a half hour. And they probably negotiated the hell out of that. They wanted an hour. We'll give you 15 minutes. We can't do 15 minutes. They settled on 28 minutes or whatever it was. But you know, at minute 12, they're trying to wrap. So she actually couldn't get a word out. Now, from a policy perspective, of course she's bobbing and weaving because she can't. 80% of Americans say we're on the wrong track. She's like, Donald Trump, of course. Yeah. But he's trying to hold her feet to the fire. But it actually made her look a little, dare I say it, like,
you know what?
Strong.
It made her
fair.
But he was annoying.
Okay, but
you have to be a certain type of annoying to be more annoying than Kamala Harris.
Okay, but are you ready for this? And I'm gonna push back because I think this is the first interview that we have seen where the person, you call it holding her foot to the fire, I call it making her answer the question. Stay on point. What? Ready for this? Your border. It's a mess. People, and we're going to get to it, guys. It's a little bit emotional, too. You're letting these people in. People were raped and murdered because of you. She's like, well, we tried to pass a border bill. And he goes, no. These women were raped and murdered before this whole thing happened. And hold on, and she's still blaming Trump. But Adam, this is a real interview. By the way, I'm not a big fan of Bret Baier, but this is an interview where she wasn't given the questions. Allegedly, some earrings of somebody telling you what to do. This was raw. It was somebody from the other side. And guess what? She stepped into a freaking beehive and was like, oh
Hornet's
my.
nest?
Yeah, but here's the thing. Adam, I can see where somebody could see that. I think it's someone saying, no, I'm not going to let you blame Trump for everything. This is your administration with that creepy, sleepy freak, Joe Biden. Stay on point. Answer the question. And then I'm going to go to you guys, Humberto. This next one, Tom, and I want to know your thing. This is her action and reaction, her border policy reversal's impact on illegal immigration and Border Patrol endorsing Trump. Play this video.
Repeatedly that the border was secure. When in your mind did it start becoming a crisis?
I think we've had a broken immigration system transcending, by the way, Donald Trump's administration.
No answer.
Before.
No answer.
Let's all be honest about that. I have no pride in saying that this is a perfect immigration system. I've been clear, I think we all are, that it needs to be fixed. We need more. I was just down at the border talking with border agents, and they will tell you, and I'm sure you probably, I know you investigate and you are a serious journalist. They will tell you we need more judges. We need to process those cases faster. We need the support for those cases that should be prosecuted. They need more resources, and Congress ultimately is the only place that's going to get fixed, Brett. Well, that's how this system works.
That's the premise of this question. There were 90-plus executive orders that were rescinded in the first days.
Exactly.
Many of those were Trump border policies. I'm not going to stay here because there's other things to talk about, but you frequently talk to the Border Patrol Union for support of that bipartisan bill, and they did. They supported it. But they also just endorsed Donald Trump and said, you've been, quote, a failure with border security.
Yeah.
Why do you think they said that?
I think they're frustrated.
Yeah,
and I get it. They want support.
Bitch, you're not giving it to them.
They want support, and that's what that border security bill would have done. Oh. These guys down at the border, these men and women, they're working hard. They're working.
By the way, okay, now I have to show this video and I want you guys to respond. So she's talking about a border security bill. This next video is her fake-ass apology to one of the mothers who lost a child to an illegal immigrant before this policy was put into place. Is this the one? Go ahead, play this one.
This election in 20 days will determine whether we have a president of the United States who actually cares more about fixing a problem, even if it is not to their political advantage in an election, because there was a solution, Brett.
Madam Vice President, it was a policy decision in the early part of your administration. I will let one of the mothers talk about it.
Boom.
Take a listen.
Boom.
Because of the Biden-Harris administration open border policies catch and release, they were enrolled in the Alternatives to Detention program. This meant that they were released into the United States. It was not even a full 3 weeks later that they would take my daughter, Jocelyn Nungare's life. I believe the Biden-Harris administration open border policies are responsible for the death of my daughter.
That's the early days. So do you owe them an apology is what I'm saying.
I will tell you that I am so sorry for her loss.
It's your
I'm so sorry for her loss.
No.
Sincerely.
Yeah, sure.
But let's talk about what is happening right now with an individual who does not want to participate in solutions. Let's talk about that as well.
But do you want to answer
in all fairness, I told you, I feel awful for what she and her family have experienced.
During that time.
And
go ahead, pause, go ahead.
When you say the word but, it negates everything you said before. I feel sorry for this woman. But
Trump.
Let's discard everything I just said because we're going to focus on Donald Trump. Yeah. By the way, the same border security bill that they're saying Trump tanked and didn't want the Republicans to fix, the reason why was because it also included $60 billion to fund the war in Ukraine. So maybe they have a problem with us continuing to fund foreign wars, and they filled that bill with, what do they call it, pork? It was a pork-filled bill, which is why the Republicans didn't want it passed, and the reason why it was filled with pork was because of the Democrats.
Yeah, and Great point, which I had this put up on my phone. I want everybody at home, okay, who is on the fence, that kind of is like, wait a minute, he did turn it down. Let me explain to you. Rob just made a great point. That border bill that these talking losers, these talking heads keep saying, well, we gave them a bill. Karine Jean-Pierre said it too. We had a bill to close the border, and none of these people would have been killed and raped and murdered and taken your jobs. That border bill included $60 billion to Ukraine, including Israel and Taiwan. Ready for this? Codify, catch, and release. Let in 1.8 more illegal immigrants, fund sanctuary cities, fund NGO moving illegals, lawyers to illegals, work permits to illegals, nothing to deport illegals, no immediate wall funds, weak asylum screening, and all the money to Ukraine. So when they're like, hey, we want to close the border, but Trump said no, bullshit, okay? It's bullshit, okay? Trump told them, don't give in because what? To close the border, we have to do all this shit to the people that are already here that are going to vote Democrat. Absolutely not. I'm 100%. What do you think, Tom?
It's absurd, right? It's absolutely absurd. You know, she happens to think that the voters are dumb enough to believe what she's saying. That is the only logical explanation out of it. It's hubris. It's cocky. It's arrogant. It's insulting to the average voter that can't simply look up and see, wait a minute, you guys were there. So now you're going to say that you worked so hard to get the presidency only to say, oh, I can't do crap because it's Congress. So you're basically saying that you're just a gelding. You're a horse that's become castrated. You can do nothing. Then why are you running so hard for the position? Why aren't you running for staying in the Senate? Why don't you stay in the House of Representatives if you've got all this power?
Yep.
You know, oh, Congress, that's the way the system works, Brett. You can't have it both ways, woman.
Yep.
Damn. Well, look, I really enjoy being a part of what I sometimes call the Trump circle jerks, but I'm going to push back on all you guys right now.
This wasn't a trickle jerk. We're just putting her, we're keeping her on her bullshit.
Let me ask you something. Yeah. And this
Adam, that's a heck of a preamble. Where are you going here?
Yeah.
This is where I'm going with this. Again, two things can be true at once. I find her annoying. I'm not voting for her. But at the same time, you got to give her at least a little bit of credit on going on Fox News. She's realizing like, oh my God, my sugar high's done. You know, I was coronated. Nobody elected me in terms of being president. I get the VP on the ticket. I get it. She went on Fox News. She's getting better. Don't look now. This is not the same lady that was like, if you do podcast number 1 to podcast, you're almost on number 100. How much better are you at podcasting, hosting this podcast on podcast 91 now?
On top of all the PBD podcasts. Yeah, for sure.
How much better are you?
I'm way better.
So the point is she's going to be getting better. And thank goodness for Trump that she doesn't have 6 months of doing media campaign. She's only been doing this for 2 months. I mean, as the job. And she's slowly and surely going to be getting better. But is it going to be enough to get her over the top? Just think about it. Trump has been doing media for 10 years in terms of candidacy, but 40 years. He's media savvy. He knows how to play the game. She's just learning how to play this game.
Well, that's I'm terrible. Just saying, she's been in politics,
but not
2016.
No. Okay, you don't think there's a little bit of difference, but scrutiny in the spotlight between a attorney general or a congresswoman or a senator or a vice president versus the president? Come on, bro. So she's sitting in this spotlight for the first time ever.
But you also want to give her
finding her comfort zone,
doing something she should.
I'm giving her zero. Listen, I'm giving her zero credit for the open border, for the disaster, for the fact that she's equivocating Hamas to Israel. There's so many things to complain about.
Yes.
But it's undeniable. She's
giving her
actually
zero credit.
Getting,
I mean, you're giving
she's
her
actually getting a little bit better.
Okay,
okay, it's the same rationalization of someone who hates Trump, and you can't say, well, give him at least a little bit of credit for unemployment and inflation. No, he's the devil. It's like, all right, well, then you're not rational.
Okay, well.
You have zero ability to applaud and criticize both sides. Okay. I have a unique ability to be like, Trump's good here. She sucks here. Trump's not that good here. Good, I don't know. So that's what I'm saying, the Trump circle jerk. We just want to go around and say she's bad and he's the best ever. Well, we can do that.
Well, that's why I disagree.
But it's nuanced.
But the Trump circle jerk, that statement has nothing to do with that, with this.
No, it has to do with this.
No. But hold on. I don't know how you equivocate that to us seeing an interview, which, mind you, we were in awe yesterday saying, why in God's name, okay? Why in God's name, as a tactics point of view, would they or her team, her handlers, the people that tell Biden what to do are the same people with her? She's a freaking puppet. Why would you agree this late in the game, Adam, to go on Fox? You know what Bret Baier is going to do. He's not giving you the questions. This is raw dog out in the open. Why would you agree to that? It's almost as if you want her to fail because, Adam, they know who she is.
Who wants her to fail?
Hold on. Let me finish.
Yeah.
Why in God's name would you, as Kamala's team, let her go like this, raw, unscripted, when you know, Adam, this isn't a secret. She's not smart. Hold on. She has zero policies. This guy was going to push her. Why would you push her out there into the open? It's almost as if when they put Biden out in front of Trump, they knew this disaster was going to come. They knew he was going to eat him alive because Biden he's been cooked for 3 years.
So what's your point?
My point is you're acting as, she stood her ground and you saw the good points. I didn't see that. I saw somebody that was ill-prepared, had zero policy, had nothing to talk about, and just showed her bitterness, and she was in the Trump circle jerk because everything she said went back to Trump. Actually, Connor, go to that video is that video that I sent Kelly in here where it's like Trump dancing? Keep going down.
Are you saying that her team
down lower
wants her to lose, so they set her up?
I don't know.
Put her on Fox News?
Why would you put her out there?
Is that what you're saying?
No, I don't know because why? By the way,
I'm asking a genuine question. What are you saying? That she shouldn't have gone on to Fox News?
I'm saying that
Trump goes on CNN.
I'm saying no. Trump,
Adam, you go into enemy territory.
You asked me a question. If I was her team, 1,000%, I would have said we're not doing this. How about this? It wouldn't even have come to that because how did this help her? Did this help her? This late in the game? Hold on. With Biden, you keep him in the basement. You kept that loser pervert in the basement.
I fully disagree. I think you listen, enough of preaching to the choir. You have to go convert people. That's why Trump is so good.
Did she convert
Because he'll go. I don't know.
I don't think so.
But maybe.
No.
Because the Fox viewers are not necessarily voting for Kamala. But maybe she gets a couple women, the Nikki Haley voters, older women. I don't know. There's strategy to it. To me, it's intellectually lazy to be like, her team wants her to lose, so they put her on Fox. That's it.
Adam.
So that means Trump's team wants him to lose when he does a town hall on CNN.
No, because they know he has substance. He'll kick ass.
You know
so
the
lazy.
last time
so intellectually lazy.
Someone from that administration has been on Fox News. It was Joe Biden in 2020. Why would you start doing it now?
Because they're about to lose the election.
That's not going to help on a tactic
playing desperate.
I'm about to lose my
They're
leg.
playing desperate.
Yeah, by the way, and let me just...
I can't believe you're actually saying that her own internal team, wink, wink, wants her to lose, so they set her up with Fox News so that she could look bad and lose the election.
Almost like there's a precedent for them doing the same exact thing in this election cycle.
Yeah.
The same exact... they did that.
They did it to Biden. You act like
what they did to Joe Biden.
Yeah, you act like we're the C word.
They wanted to get someone in that had a chance.
Let's turn down the emotion a minute and just look at...
I'm actually being logical here. Like,
no.
You go to other people's... Did you ever see the interview? Here we go. Listen, riddle me this, Batman.
Go ahead.
Patrick Bet-David, you think pretty highly of him?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a guy there called CoffeeZilla. You ever heard of him?
Yeah.
Okay, who's he?
Think
about it.
He loves coffee.
He loves coffee, and he's also a monster. Basically, his whole agenda is doing hit pieces and exposés on big-time celebrities and influencers. And he did this. It was 2021, right around probably when you started. You could fact check it. When PBD went on CoffeeZilla, find me the date. I guarantee you it's like Q4 2021. What's my point? Fact check me. He did a hit piece on PBD being an MLM. So Pat, did you see what this guy put out there for you? Find the date. Rob?
That's always Marco. I'm looking.
Okay. So why would Pat go on to enemy territory on a guy who's exposing him and is going to set him up for failure and has questions ready to go to dismantle him? Pat goes, yeah, all right, cool. I'll do a live with you tonight.
April 22nd, 2021.
Okay, Q2 2020. I had my year right. Pat goes, listen, I'm not scared. I know what I do right. I'm going to go on to this. And what's my point? 90% of his audience is going to hate me. But there's going to be 10% that say, I respect this guy. I didn't like him before, but I'm going to go try and change some hearts and minds. So you go into an interview like this and say, I'm not getting 100% to vote for me, but can I get 1%? Can I get 5%? Can I get 10%? This is PBD. Why would you go on to a guy that does hit pieces for you? It's because you've already won the MAGA base. You need to go convert people. So when someone goes into enemy territory, whether it's Biden going on Fox or Kamala going on Fox or Trump going on CNN, to me, there's a strategy there. And it's intellectually lazy to be like, her team just wants her to lose.
But
that's
Adam,
the reason that Pat went on CoffeeZilla.
Adam, you're assuming that it's a fair and balanced playground. Out of
I'm
all
not
the
assuming any fairness. I'm assuming you're going on enemy territory. That's the exact opposite of fair and balanced.
There's one channel
and not in your favor.
One channel that leans slightly right, and there is like how many? 8 channels?
Slightly right.
Fox News.
Slightly?
Slightly.
They're conservative. Wait, they're conservative, but they're not right-wing freaking QAnon.
Don't they have Newsmax? Don't they have OAN? There's other channels out there.
Yeah, but
actually
they're conservative. No, but Fox News is not what Fox News was 10 years ago. Shit, 5 years ago.
Are we saying that Fox is slightly right?
No, they're conservative.
They're the right. What are we talking about?
Okay, but they're not right wingers. They're not. Dude, they call out everybody's BS. They call out everybody's BS. Everybody's.
They do?
Yeah. By the way,
I guess Sean Hannity's still undecided.
Sean Hannity. But I don't trust Sean Hannity.
Well, but remember when Trump first came up, everyone at Fox hated him.
Was talking crap to him.
They were all talking crap. Some of them apologized, like Tucker Carlson. Yep. Some other ones still on the other side, you know?
There's a difference between the Murdochs, Roger Ailes, rest in peace, and the talking heads and the Tuckers and the Sean Hannitys and the Laura Ingrams and the general workforce from Fox. Listen, Fox is mostly conservative, not a little bit conservative. Yeah. They're conservative. That's just like saying MSNBC is just a little bit to the left. Dude, they're hanging out on the end zone out here on the left.
Adam, they pushed the Iraq war. They pushed the Afghanistan war.
Yep.
They lied to like conservative principles so much. 20 years of lying to conservatives.
Yeah, they also lied about the 2020 election and got sued for almost $1 billion from Dominion voting. So
that goes into a whole different lawfare with Dominion and their machines, which, by the way, Pat just had a guy on that proved that you could hack into any machine.
Hari Hursty. You should go
allegedly.
You should go.
Allegedly.
You should go.
Bottom line for me, 10 seconds. I think it's a softball interview when she goes on Call Her Daddy. Of course, when she goes on Fox News to get interviewed Bret Baier, congratulations, good for you going and doing that. It's the same thing as why Pat openly respects someone like Bernie Sanders, even though he vehemently disagrees with 99% of his policies, but at least respects the fact that he has the balls to go onto other people's platforms.
Adam, but balls,
so good for her in this
balls, but when you go into battle, you have to be prepared. Your swords have to be sharpened. Your freaking armor has to be tight and legitimate. She doesn't have any of that. So Pat can...
You're trying to tell me that she doesn't have balls?
No, Pat can...
I don't know. I don't even know what a woman is at this point.
Pat can go into enemy territory because Pat's a warrior and has all the shit with him. Pat is ready to go because he has all the information. He has all the ammunition. She doesn't have it. So, well, hold on. So for you to pretend like the Democratic Party wouldn't wheel out somebody to make them look stupid, I don't know what their motives are. That's exactly what they did to Joe Biden.
2 weeks before an election?
How many months ago was Joe Biden? Yeah, and they did the switcheroo.
So are you so let's go there. Are you saying that they're trying to do a switcheroo on her now?
Well, can I ask you a question?
No,
What's
answer
the
that.
October surprise? What can the October surprise be?
That she's a man or that she's...
I don't know, but let me...
Oh, guys. This has suddenly become the unusual shout specs. So let's see if we can... maybe just step into... Look at a couple things like this. Right? Now then, you can argue, okay, she's going out trying to find other votes. Clearly she was. Anything they do right now, they are strategically trying to find a vote or to lock in a vote if that vote
is Trump. On the ground. That's what you should be doing.
Okay, so, right. So now then, there is an angle here. And the angle here is there's a precedent that we know Nancy Pelosi was, if not the ringleader, she was the lead enabler to ensure that Biden went into that July debate with Trump.
Yes.
We know it now. People have not only leaked it, they've commented about it. Pelosi said, we're worried about down ballot. We're worried about losing the White House and losing the House of Representatives.
Yeah.
So guess what? Let him go. We know what's going to happen. We're not getting along with the White House. We're not getting along with the campaign. All these now are facts. I'm just reciting facts.
Yes.
And guess what happened? Exactly what you would think happened in the debate. Biden looked tired. He had prepared all day for 2 days, and he's losing his faculties.
He's lost it. We know that. Yeah.
That's right. And the exact output they wanted took place. Looked really bad. It gave them all the ammunition they need until suddenly a letter appears, not even on White House letterhead, that said, "Dear Mom, how bad, so sad, I'm out of here," right? Okay, so we have all of the mechanism in the establishment took those steps with Biden, and now we see it's true. Speculated, everybody said it was speculation and assumption. 60 days later, now we can see just how true it was. Isn't it interesting, not just, and let me step on something here, Adam, not just the Fox interview. Let's go look at what's been happening the last 72 hours. There have been mainstream media coming out. Saturday Night Live was running skits, and NBC turns Saturday night skits on and off. Somebody in this room has a friend that's part of the cast, and we know that sometimes you're not allowed to go certain places with the skits. You don't pick on certain things.
Yeah, of course.
Right? The mothership, which is NBC, says, no, maybe we don't do that one. So there is a little bit of an invisible hand there controlling the satire and the parody and the narrative that comes out. We've seen a lot of things that have happened since last week to now. Saturday Night Live, a lot of things. Why is it after quantitatively we had 21 days with not one negative story on her in any of the four mainstreams, and I include CNN with the three majors, not one. It was 21 days after the shift from Biden. Not one negative story came from the majors on her while they were attempting to support and put wind in the sails of the shift. What is happening the last week? The last week, there's a lot of negatives coming. Now, could an October surprise suddenly be Hillary and Kamala steps out? That is a huge undertaking. But I think it's kind of weird that the gatekeepers are no longer keeping the gate the way they were in those first 21 days now. Why not? They all want her to win. Why are they not?
So I agree with everything you're saying.
And why would you let her
what's your
go
point
on,
with this?
Why would you let her go on the Fox for 5% of incremental voters with the risk of looking
like
the way she did?
Do you think she? Question for you.
It's
I want to hone in on your point.
Here's my point.
Do you think she has say in
never
where she goes?
attribute to malice that which can be adequately explained by pride or stupidity? I think maybe they had a lot of pride going in there. We could do this. She can handle this. We could do this. In the middle of campaigns, listen to what Cuomo says. Listen to what Francis Suarez says. You get surrounded by yes men, and sometimes you can't hear outside the room.
Do you think she had any say into where she was going?
I don't think so.
No say?
I think so.
So if she didn't want to do this, she would say, they're saying, no, you're doing it?
They say
you don't think that she has say into where she goes?
I think she's got a lot less say than Obama or Trump or Biden did in their
I don't
campaigns.
disagree that she has less say than
a lot less say.
An actual president.
I think.
But do you think she doesn't have say with?
No.
If she said, "I don't want to go on Fox
do I
News,
think it was her idea?
I don't want to go on.
No.
Call her
Do I
daddy.
think it's her
You think
strategy?
that you think there's someone that says you're going?
Yes, I think she was.
Do you think
talking
Trump
to it.
has a 100% say of where he goes and doesn't go?
I think he is
100%.
He's the
What
final
did he say
call,
yesterday? He said, "I was
she's
talked
not the final
into."
call? I'm just trying to understand how we're getting.
but you're asking.
I think she was talked into it, and then you heard what Trump said yesterday to us. Well, you know, I was kind of talked into Chicago, but because I'm like, now I'm getting interviewed by this guy, but I know he can be kind of negative.
Yeah.
But I went along with it, and it turned out very interesting because I was able to counter his viewpoint.
Because he did well, but it could have been very bad because that guy was trying to be vindictive with Bloomberg,
Exactly.
right?
But
he handled it well.
Do I think she was talked? Do I think it was her idea? Hell no. Do I think she really wanted to do it? Hell no. Do I think she was convinced to do it out of pride and hubris on the campaign? Yeah. Because if it's not pride and hubris, then they're trying to set her up. And we're back in July, and that's a pretty big mountain.
Yeah.
So, but go deeper, because I want to fully understand what you're saying. Are you saying that there's a mechanism that says, listen, with 3 weeks to go, 2 weeks to go, we actually want to supplant Kamala and get Hillary in? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying,
or a different candidate?
If it's not pride and hubris, if it's not pride and hubris and just terrible decision making, then what's on the other side? The precedent of Biden. And I just said that's a large mountain to climb.
Are you saying that they're going to get her out and bring Biden in? I don't understand.
I didn't say that. I said, you heard me. You heard what I said, and you're trying to wrap it up.
I'm actually, what are you solving for? That they're trying to make her lose?
I'm saying,
that they want a different
if it's
candidate?
not pride, hubris, and stupidity, then it's like Biden 2.0, which is an incredibly crazy mountain to climb.
So if you like this clip, click right here. And if you want to see more like it, click right here. Stay angry, Patriots.